till death do us part. For 3 years, Evelyn combed every shoreline near Deadwood Bay. Her husband, Mason, had gone missing during what was supposed to be a simple weekend fishing trip. His boat was found adrift, tackle scattered, and a beer can bobbing beside it. No sign of struggle, no trace of him. Just gone. Mason had been a hard man, hard drinker, hard fists, hard to love. But Evelyn, raised on the gospel of loyalty and second chances, stayed. She wore long sleeves in summer and forgave what others begged her to flee. His disappearance left her more confused than relieved. Grief came in waves. Sometimes guilt. Sometimes freedom. But always the aching absence of closure. Then, just as quietly as he left, he returned. It was late evening, the sky bleeding orange behind the hills, when Evelyn saw him standing at the edge of the driveway. Same weathered jacket, same steel-toe boots. But there was something off. He smiled. Mason never smiled like that. He stepped into the house like a man who had never left. Kissed her cheek softly. Asked about the garden. Evelyn stood frozen, clutching the hem of her apron. He never once asked for a beer. Over the next few days, Evelyn watched him. He cleaned up after himself. Spoke gently. Slept soundly. No swearing at the TV, no late-night rages, and no smell of whiskey on his breath. He read books. He said, please. Once, he offered to cook dinner and made rosemary chicken. The man wore her husband's skin, but not his shadow. You feel different, she said one night, gripping her mug tight. Like you were remade. He looked at her for a long moment. Then said, I think I was. That night, she snuck out to the shed and dug through his old tackle box. Inside, beneath rusted lures and tangled line, she found something she hadn't expected, his old wedding ring, scratched and dulled. He was still wearing a ring. But this one looked brand new. The next day, she drove into town and asked around. The sheriff shrugged. Walked in like he owned the place. No ID, no explanation. Just said he was back. So she asked him. Straight out. What happened out there on the water? He stirred his tea and said, I drowned. Silence. I remember the cold pulling me down, something wrapping around my leg. Then I woke up on a shore I'd never seen before. There were people, things there. They fixed me. Said I had potential. That I could be better. That the old me was broken. He met her eyes, and for the first time, she saw something beneath his combed fear. I think they kept a part of me. And maybe, gave me something else in return. Evelyn stood slowly, her skin crawling. You're not Mason. I'm what he could have been, he whispered. She didn't run. She didn't scream. She just nodded and left the room. That night, she didn't sleep. In the morning, she made 2 cups of coffee. One black, one with cream and sugar. She placed the sugared one before him. He sipped it without comment. Mason hated sugar in his coffee. She stared at the man across the table and smiled faintly. Whoever or whatever he was, she wasn't sure if she wanted the real Mason back anymore.